Let's go outside, let's take a walk in the sun. There are things to learn and things to see. A big wide world for you, your dog, and me. Dog Talk. Hi, everybody, and welcome to Dog Talk. I'm Pat Becker. My co-host Rusty is here, and Paula Tiller.
Hi.
Paula is, of course, and she's been on before, with the Oklahoma City Kennel Club. This is a wonderful organization. It's a confirmation show that goes on and on and on forever. And we are so glad. It's a wonderful, wonderful event. Now, you have brought a little Brittany with us today.
I have a little 84-year-old Brittany named Gabe.
Gabe is wonderful. Now, how did you use Gabe? I know that you're a breeder and you have a kennels and all of this
I'm a retired breeder. He will be 12 next month. He's a retired champion, and when I met a wonderful little girl that was 9 years old, and she started playing with him around our house, and she ended up being a junior handler. And so I put him as her as a co-owner on Gabe, and she kept him while she was learning to show, and it was so much fun.
Oh, it's excellent, just excellent. And of course, Rusty is holding a book that kind of is coordinated with that. We have done a book called Search for Paradise, and it is about a little Brittany, about a Brittany who was a hunting dog and takes charge of her little young friend here, who is the daughter of the friend that she just lost. And so it is a wonderful book, and I hope that everybody will get into it because Brittany's are so special. And we have made your Brittany the Dog of the Week.
Oh, thank you.
So we have a $100 gift certificate for you from
That's
A1
wonderful.
Pet Emporium.
Thank you so much.
And we have all kinds of treats for your dogs, and the dog can get right in there if he feels like it. He says, I think I do.
He knows
We're going to
about
talk a little bit about what's coming up, the events.
Great.
You're doing a whole Pee-wee thing, aren't you?
Well, this year, the Oklahoma City Summer Classic Dog Shows are moving to the fairgrounds, back to the fairgrounds this year, and it'll be at the new convention center, the events Bennett.
And that's with all the little
Center.
children that do their thing.
Well, this will be 5 days of dog shows, June 28th through July 2nd. On July 1st, Saturday, we're having the kids show.
Yes.
The annual kids show.
And
you're going to be our judge.
Yes, I remember last year with all the little children that had their little dogs out there, and they, the little stuffed dogs, and it was such a darling thing. I thought we had some B-roll. There they are. This was such a super little event because they learned they learned a little bit about how to be among crowds and how to show their stuffed animals. And they were absolutely precious.
Where was this, Pat, when I was little? I
know
wasn't able to do this as a junior handler.
Me too. I was a junior handler. I never had that.
Now I need to tell you something. I was pulled out of retirement for this show, and I may be pulled out again because I do have some confirmation experience, and so you might see me in a suit and tie in a puppy.
I love it. You better get down there to it.
Well, we'll be down there. It's going to be great.
Showing is such a joy, and I just I'm kind of on a mission to get kids interested at a young age, and it's something you can do on and off all your life whenever you feel like it. You don't have to stay with it. There's no schedule. You can go when you want.
It's wonderful, and senior handlers and professional handlers. It's a wonderful profession. It really is. It's one of the good ways to make a little bit of money in the dog business. That's for sure. We're gonna take a real quick break here, Paula, and when we come back, we're going to view a lot of junior handlers.
Wonderful.
Would you like to see that?
I would love to see that.
Okay, we'll be right back.
A1 Pet Emporium is Oklahoma's authority on healthy nutrition for dogs and cats. Quality does not have to cost more, and we only have the best. If your pet suffers from allergies, digestive issues, skin infections, or hair loss, it may be the result of their diet. A1 Pet Emporium can help. We offer pet portraits monthly, adorable rescue animals every Saturday from noon to 4, and free dog and cat food samples. Locally owned and operated, we want to be your neighborhood pet store.
So we're so looking forward to the Pee-wees, and now we're going to show you what happens when they get a little older and they become junior handlers. Watch this. When a child is old enough to understand the giving and receiving of love, God sometimes sends a forever friend to guide them from above. I truly believe that our present younger generation holds the key to responsible pet ownership in the future. I began gathering examples of successful interaction of children and their pets by attending an event called Crazy Kids Dog Show. This is Madeline Robinson, and she was expounding on the value of one of these events. Now tell me, Madeline, what were your views on this?
Well, I think it's so great to have the kids around dogs so they get so used to dogs. Our kids are very little, and we have very big dogs at home, and so it's so nice to let them see different sizes of dogs, but especially to learn not to be afraid of dogs, but to know how to treat them. So they learn the idea of pack leader, and they learn the idea of having dogs be a part of the family so they can see how do you pull them without them, how do you walk them without them pulling you, and how do you be around the dogs that are so much bigger than you are when you're these little kids. We want our kids not to be afraid of dogs and also to know how to treat them kindly.
These younger kids, some of them toddlers, were learning the basic rules in handling and showing their pets and having a lot of fun. I next visited the Animal Resource Center, where the AKC West Central Kennel Club was holding an event for kids who were preteen. And I'm talking today with Joy and Caitlin Eddy. How are you, Joy?
We're just fine. We're having a fun time.
And so, Caitlin, what are you going to do today?
I'm going to show a dog.
You're going to show your dog, and is this the dog?
Yes.
An Australian Shepherd. Good baby. And his name is Vince? Mm-hmm. So you're going to go in, your mama tells me you're going to go in a costume class and you're going to do some obedience.
Yes.
That's wonderful. So you have I see you have 2 dogs here. Mm-hmm. And Australian Shepherds are awesome, aren't they?
Yes.
Awesome Australian Shepherds. Well, we wish you luck today. Have a really good time. Well, we have found some really true junior handlers this morning, and I'm going to talk with Alicia and Sybil. And let me ask you then, Sybil, what are you showing in today?
Confirmation.
You're showing in confirmation? And what is your dog's name?
Keen.
Keen. So, Susan, how long has your daughter been doing this?
Well, this is her first year of junior showmanship as an actual junior handler. She's been interested since she could walk, I believe.
And has she always been interested in shepherds?
Yes, pretty much, because that's what we have.
Uh-huh. How long have you had your shepherd?
He's about 7, almost 8 years old, and we've had him since the day he was born.
Yeah. So who encouraged your daughter to get into showing? You did.
I guess I did.
Yes. And why was that? Do you enjoy it?
Yes.
So what are you going to do today? You're going to do?
I'm going to be doing the costume thing.
Are you going to be doing any obedience later on?
Maybe.
Oh yeah, obedience is cool. My final stop was at the Sooner State Kennel Club, held under AKC rules and regulations. This is where the teenage group would participate. But you know what? I was astounded. I found an 8-year-old boy and a 7-year-old girl who were actually showing in classes with older folks. So, Makai, did you win?
Yes.
You won. And how was your dog? Did well. I am so pleased for you. So you think you'll continue on then? And as we spoke before, you're going to be a big professional handler?
Well, I might get into junior.
Junior first, of course, and then go. Well, congratulations. I want to shake your hand here. You did so well. So, Emily Landers, are you going to be a dog handler?
Maybe.
Maybe. You did so well today. I would think that would give you some impetus for going after it. You did so well, don't you think? And you had a little dog that had its own mindset, but you dealt with it so well. The teen junior handlers were busy all day, showing their breeds and competing in the group classes as well. My first interview was with 17-year-old Carly Howard. So you are Carly Howard.
Yes.
How are you?
Good.
We saw you show. It looked so beautiful. What is the name of your dog?
Kiara.
This is Kiara. And tell me about this dog.
She's my bred-by puppy, so I bred her with my breeder. And
So how long have you been showing her?
Since she was 6 months.
All right. So she's kind of a veteran already.
Yeah.
So what do you expect she'll do?
I'm pretty sure she'll finish and then have puppies and stuff.
Oh, excellent. excellent. So you are what is considered a junior handler. And how old are you?
17.
You're 17. So how long have you been doing this?
Since I was 10.
I next interviewed Eddie Venegas. So you are Eddie Venegas, and we watched you show. You did an excellent job, and you are a junior handler. It's amazing how well you did. I am so impressed. And this breed of dog that you showed is kind of an ancient breed, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
And what is it called?
It's an Iberian Hound.
Exactly, and the Iberian Hounds go far, far back to the Egyptians, which they say is, these were the forerunners of the dogs that we have now, which is so impressive. And are they easy to show?
If you train them really well, it is. It just takes time and dedication
to do that sort of thing. So how long have you been showing?
This is actually my third show, so not that long.
Oh, that is absolutely, you could not tell. You look like such a pro.
Thank you.
I mean, really so good, and we are so pleased for you. So do you have aspirations for being a professional handler?
I'd like to be, yes. Sometime in the future, be a really good handler.
Yeah, well, I think you're going to be.
Thank you.
And congratulations.
Thank
you did
you.
so well. I visited with Ashley Goslin, a 14-year-old. Ashley Goslin, how are you?
I'm good, how are you?
Good, and I understand you are resident in Kansas?
Yes.
And you showed, the dogs that you showed was a Lhasa?
A Havanese.
It was a Havanese,
yes.
All right. We did see that, and I had forgotten, I apologize.
It's all
but
right.
you did, I was concentrating on you. You did such a fabulous job.
Thank you.
And you're 14 years old.
Yes.
So you have a long time to go in juniors.
Yes, I do. Yes.
But you did a fabulous job.
Thank you.
And I am so pleased for you. We wish you well.
Thank you so
Take
much.
care. You
Thanks.
bet. Taylor Scott was the busiest of the teen handlers that day, but she graciously granted us an interview. So, Taylor Scott, you are a junior handler.
Yes.
So I have seen you today at this show. You have been so busy. It's
been a busy
unreal.
morning.
How many dogs have you shown?
This morning, I think that was the fourth one.
Yeah, I mean, it is unreal how I look up and there you are.
It goes back and forth all the time.
So when did you start handling dogs?
My first show was whenever I was 4 years old, and I've been showing dogs ever since.
And what kind of dog did you start with?
A Cavalier.
A Cavalier. And then you went to what breed?
I went to a Bloodhound, and I am recently showing a Dane, and I actually just got a pointer that I will start showing the weekend after next.
So we're getting ready for a junior class. Now, you're getting ready to go into the senior juniors,
yes.
aren't you?
Yes. Open senior, I will go into, not next weekend, but the weekend after, is I will have had my birthday and I will have aged up into senior for my last 3 years in juniors.
So then you expect that you will be in this dog business for a length of time?
That is my goal. I would like to grow up and be a professional handler. I am working right now really hard to get there, and so I'm hoping that it will pay off in the end.
Well, obviously, the more you do, the better you get.
Yes, exactly.
So this must keep you traveling quite a bit.
Oh yes, I was home hardly at all during the summer. We actually went to Canada during the summer for a couple of shows up there, and it was great. We had a show every weekend, and I'm still pretty much having a show every weekend.
Well, and because you enjoy it so much, and that makes it worth it. There is no doubt about that. Well, we wish you well.
Thank you.
And obviously you're going to do well. We have watched you in the ring. You are so good.
Thank you very much.
And I just, you've got to have a great future.
I hope.
Take care, my dear.
Thank you.
Thank you. Carolyn Erbel, the experienced, well-known judge, breeder, and dog advocate, carefully made her decision as to the winner of this group of young handlers. Carly Howard was presented with the coveted award as a rising star. I'm so encouraged at the prospects for a better-informed pet owner community. This generation of inspired and enthusiastic young people will undoubtedly pass the word and demonstrate to the world the value of having and properly caring for our loving pets. So, it is an important factor. It teaches kids so much, not just about dog handling, but socialization, impulse control, a formula, you know, for existing in a world that is kind of crazy anyway. So this gives them some stability, I think. So when is your event now? Tell us.
It's July 1st. It'll be around noonish probably, and the kids and families need to show up maybe by 10 a.m. or 11 a.m. at the latest to sign up. We'll take the first 25 kids,
and it can just
we'll
be anybody's children who wants to do it.
Children,
but they're
grandkids.
only 25, so you have
First
to.
25. We have 25 dogs and
Excellent.
stuffed dogs and leashes.
Well, we look forward to that. Thank you so much,
thank you
Paula,
for judging
and thank
it.
you, sweetheart. Going to give you a little
Thank
more
you
of
so
this because
much.
you've been
All
such a
right.
good boy. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back.
Hey, Dog Talk fans, make sure you join the conversation on social media. Just go to facebook.com/dogtalktv. We'd love to hear a story of your furry friend, so send us an email to pat@dogtalktv.com. You could be featured as our Dog of the Week. Now, enjoy the show.
Welcome back, friends. Pat, we're going to take a few minutes to talk about something that was in the paper recently, and it was about depression in vets and possibly them misusing medicine that they have access to. I know this is very important to you, and something that we should talk with our viewers.
It really was, and I was kind of very concerned about it. So I went running up to OSU to ask some of the professors up there and some of the veterinarians to get their views on it, because it was pretty shocking. It indicated that there were suicides and drug abuse and that sort of thing. So,
I'm kind of worried about it because the article says one thing, but yet the stats that are in the article from the CDC don't really support what it starts with. Yeah. So what sort of response did you get from LSU?
Well, let's watch this video, and it's pretty self-explanatory.
Okay. We'll see what the video has.
So, Dr. Gilmore, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm just fine. And you know, the last time we were here, you were so definitive about getting us information about a dog's eyes and how they see. And we got it was enlightening. It was wonderful for my viewers, and I appreciate it so much. So I understand that you have double duty now.
I do. So I'm still doing ophthalmology at the teaching hospital. But our previous dean left, and we're currently searching for a new dean. And I stepped into the associate dean for academic affair position.
So that's a big thing.
It is, but I'm enjoying it.
So tell me then what that position affords you. What does it do?
Well, it allows me to work more with the students and all the students, all 4 years. And we look at ways to help them make the curriculum as good as it can be, and also to help our faculty grow in their education techniques.
That's wonderful. And I know one time we were up and you had just put a curriculum into the system that was for husbandry, which I thought was excellent, because it's difficult. A lot of times technologically a veterinarian can be excellent, but you have to kind of get along with the people.
Oh, it's a human profession.
Yes.
It is a human profession. Yeah, absolutely.
So recently there was an article about the dropout, the burnout, the depression that can happen in veterinary medicine just as it is in human medicine. So I was totally shocked.
Well, in the health profession field, you know, sometimes veterinarians don't get the focus. They're not in the spotlight right at the beginning. So we've known that this has been a problem for physicians and other healthcare workers, social workers, nurses, people who have to deal with others in a very empathic role. It can get very taxing. Well, in Europe, it started looking at the veterinary profession, and then that's carried over to here. So I think some really important things have come out that will allow us to be more proactive in our curriculum and help give our students the skills that they'll need, you know, not just how to do surgery and how to diagnose an animal disease, but other skills that will help them navigate what they'll need as a veterinary professional, because you know, you're looking at a 30+ year career.
Exactly.
And you want them to be happy, and you want them to feel fulfilled and have this really be the lifelong dream that they go into it for. So some of those things that have been maybe a little bit more overlooked are like you brought up, communication, making them very good communicators so that's not a stressor when they get out into practice because they're dealing with their clients all the time. And just how they deal with some of the other issues that come up in practice, whether it be financial concerns, how to manage euthanasia. That's very difficult when you go into it to save lives. So there's those types of things that we just want to build up the resilience in our students and give them those skills that they can really be happy and then not end up like the statistics are showing, having higher risks of depression, anxiety disorders, even thoughts of suicide, turning to alcohol, those types of things. And I think as long as we can help those students and give them those skills, we can make an impact in the profession as a whole.
I think that's so true and so well articulated. In the whole business, and the dog business, from my standpoint, is a huge business. And there are clinics as well as shelters, rescues. The burnout is unbelievable. So, and of course we know that how sad it is when a veterinarian takes in an animal and sees that it needs this kind of treatment, but the person, say, can't afford it. So the dog or the cat or what have you is euthanized, and how it reflects, I guess, through the veterinarian's mind on what they could have done, what they should have done, why they could not have saved this animal. And I'm sure that it's the same way with human physicians, that there are mistakes, there is the sadness, to it. Witnessing this day after day, it becomes, it has to be very, taxing.
Well, and the personality types that tend to go into human medicine or veterinary medicine, they tend to be perfectionists. They tend to take on a lot of responsibility, set the bar very high for themselves, and that serves them well as they're going through medical school or veterinary school. But then when they are in practice, sometimes their expectations are unreal. We know if we go into medicine, it's not 100% cure rate. But it's hard not to take those cases that don't recover, don't do well, or as a veterinarian, one that you weren't even allowed to treat because you had to euthanize for financial reasons. That is a heavy toll to bear. And so, both physicians and veterinarians are now looking at ways to kind of build resilience in the students, give them those skills, as I mentioned. Also really focusing on getting meaning out of their career. That is very important, having those professional goals and really always, not just, after you've been in it for 20 years, but from the very get-go, what gives meaning to me from this profession, and pursue that, and also work towards a work-life balance. Don't take all this work on. There are other people who can manage patients. Give yourself a break, take your vacation, spend time with your family. Those are things that...
Have a life.
Have a life. And veterinarians and physicians have not been very good at doing that. They have a very high workload, and they keep heaping it on, and they feel, oh, this is what I do. This is what my mission.
Yeah, and I think it's well put, because obviously a person who goes into this kind of business, so to speak, has to have that desire to heal, has to have that compassion. So, as you say, you have to be able to balance that in your life. So I would be fascinated by the subject of how that is done. Because, as you say, you've mentioned some really good things about it, keeping a level of it. It would be so difficult. And I would imagine that starting out, especially because you have, as you say, such high standards if you're a student going into this practice, and that after the years you become a little more settled in it, accepting what you can and cannot do.
If you can do that. Some people have a very hard time, even after 30 years of being able to face that case that they can't help, that patient who dies. It's hard, but that's something that I think people can work on if we give them the tools on an individual basis, self-reflection, mindfulness, really think what is my personality? How do I manage this profession? And then also broader, like whether it's the practice you're at, being sure that there's a healthy environment and mental health and well-being is a priority at the practice or at the veterinary school, depending on where you're working.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is a struggle, and I think being aware when you go into this kind of position, this kind of profession, you really should be kind of enlightened on how it will tax you emotionally. Yes. So you cannot just turn your back on it. You have to have some of that in order to have the motivation to heal. Mm-hmm. So it's a difficult, very difficult thing, but I'm so glad that OSU is addressing this. Yes. Because obviously it's the schools across the country, it's the professions across the country. In our world today, there is so much pressure to succeed. That itself,
And this has become a very big topic. It's going to be part of the annual American Veterinary Medical Association meeting, as well as the Oklahoma Veterinary Medical Association meeting. So every year they are going to have a section devoted to wellness.
Well, we appreciate so much you letting us come up and address all these issues. Thanks again, Dr. Gilmore.
You're very welcome.
We appreciate it.
You're very welcome.
Pat, thank you very much for making that video
Well,
for us.
it really, I'm enlightened now on what they're doing and everything. And in every profession, in today's world, the stress is just enormous.
I agree. I mean, any industry, you have to be able to self-care, whatever it is, especially with this, when you're a vet and you're caring for someone's loved one, their family member, it's real easy to get wrapped up. And
absolutely, absolutely. They do a fantastic job. The veterinarians that I have worked with, I just absolutely have such great faith in. They do their job. They're so excellent in it, and God bless them for doing it. So we have learned a lot today. It's really been exciting and interesting for us. We hope that you'll watch next week. We have some more interesting things for you. Take care.
See you then.
We're talking about dogs. Talking about big dogs, talking about little dogs, oh yeah. Chasing the ball, chasing the cat, digging holes, thing like that. Dogs, talking about dogs. Laughing dogs, sad dogs, happy dogs, mad dogs. Dogs, just talking about dogs. Lost and alone, running the street, checking the garbage, looking to eat. Out there sad and on their own, the law will get them if they got no home. Dogs, talking about dogs. Dogs, we're talking about dogs. You say they were angels sent from above, then a year or two later you fell out of love. You don't